What's going on, MMA fans? I'm back to do my UFC Fight Night 17 predictions, taking place February 7th from Tampa, Florida. Of course, this card's going to be on Spike for free. I'm going to work my way from the bottom of the main card all the way to the top like I normally do, plus cover some undercard fights as well. First fight of the night, Amir Sadal taking on Nick Catone. Amir Sadal training out of Extreme Couture. He's got the black belt in Sambo, good judo skills, good technical striker. He's got good hands, good leg kicks, decent takedown defense. Last fight, of course, was CB Dalloway to win the Ultimate Fighter. Taking on Nick Catone, who's training out of the BJJ Shore Academy. He's a purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, decent hands. He's a Division I wrestler. Last couple fights, Eric Tavares, Mitch Weitzel, and also Ben Knight. In this fight, I think Sadal will be able to impose his will on the feet. I think he's got better technical striking than Catone. If this fight goes down to the ground, and I think it will at some point, I think Sadal's got underrated grappling skills. I think he can last with Catone on the ground. I think he's going to be able to catch Catone with a good combination, probably in the second round, and finish the fight with a TKO. All right, next fight, Mac Danzig taking on Josh Neer. Mac Danzig, very, very well-rounded fighter training out of Extreme Couture. He's got good grappling skills. He's a good wrestler. Very good hands. Good cardio. Last couple fights, Clay Guida, Mark Bocek, Tommy Spear, Hayotamaha Sakurai, Clay French. The list goes on. Taking on Josh Neer, who trains out of Militich. He's a technical striker, underrated grappler. He's got decent grappling skills and good takedown defense. Last couple fights, Nate Diaz, Dean Thomas, Nick Diaz, Joe Stevenson, Josh Burton, and Melvin Gillard. The list goes on. Danzig, I think, as far as the striking is concerned with Neer, I think he's right there with Neer. Neer is probably the more technical striker, but in all facets of the MMA game, I think Danzig is more well-rounded than Neer. I think he outclasses Neer, probably in the grappling sense, definitely in the wrestling sense as well. Danzig is just more well-rounded, and I think stylistically a bad matchup for Neer. I think Danzig's able to take this fight down, impose his will. Neer's got good enough submission defense that I don't think Danzig's going to catch him, but don't be surprised. I'm going to pick Mac Danzig via a unanimous decision. All right, next fight, Cain Velasquez taking on Denis Stojnik. Cain Velasquez training out of the American Kickboxing Academy, a.k.a. He's a Division I wrestler, improving hands, a decent grappler. Last couple fights, Jake O'Brien, Brad Morris, and also Jeremiah Constant. Taking on Denis Stojnik, who is training out of Golden Glory, the same camp as Semi Schultz and also Alistair Overeem. He's a good striker, decent sprawl. I really did get a chance to see what his grappling is like. I watched his fight, I think it was a Beast of the East fight. His last couple fights, Hakeem Guram and also Jesse Gibbs. But Stojnik, I think in this fight, if it stays standing, he's definitely the better technical striker than Velasquez. But I think his grappling may not be there. The two guys that I saw him fight were stand-up guys, very, very good strikers as well. But I think Velasquez is going to take this fight to the ground, expose Stojnik's ground game if it's lacking. And I think that it probably is lacking. And I think Velasquez finishes him late first, early second with a TKO, so I'm going to pick Cain Velasquez. All right, main event, Joe Lauzon taking on Hermes Franca. Joe Lauzon training out of Reality Self-Defense. He's a good grappler, improving hands, good wrestler. Last couple fights, Kyle Bradley, Kenny Florian, Jason Reinhart, Brandon Melendez, the knockout of Jens Polar, which really put him on the map. Taking on Hermes Franca, who's training out of Hermes Franca MMA. He's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, an unorthodox striker. Of course, you got to see that knockout of Spencer Fisher. Very unorthodox striking. He's got decent takedown defense. Last couple fights, Marcus Aurelio, Frankie Edgar, Sean Shirk, Spencer Fisher, Jamie Varner, Eve Edwards, Josh Thompson. The list goes on. In this fight, I think Lauzon is going to get some takedowns. I think he's going to be able to get Franca down. But what I see happening, I think Lauzon is going to make a mistake. I think Franca is going to capitalize on it, catch him in either like a guillotine choke or maybe even in a sloppy transition when Lauzon's going for some ground and pound. Franca could catch him in a triangle as well. But I'm going to pick Hermes Franca with a mid-second, late second round submission. All right, some of the undercard fights. Kurt Pellegrino and Rob Emerson. I've got Kurt Pellegrino via third round sub. Dan Miller versus Jake Roseholt. This is going to be an interesting fight. Jake Roseholt, of course, is an up-and-coming fighter. He's a very, very good fighter as well. But I think Dan Miller is going to win via unanimous decision. George Soteropoulos, Matt Grice. I've got George Soteropoulos via second-round submission. Gleason Tebow, Rich Clemente. I wish this fight was on the main card. Both these guys are going to give the other some problems. Clemente, the better striker. Tebow, the better wrestler. Very good grappler. A lot bigger. I mean, he's huge for 155. But I think it's going to be a close fight. I think Tebow wins via split decision. And the explosive fight of the night, Luigi Fioravanti and Anthony Johnson. I've got Anthony Johnson via a unanimous decision. So make sure you check this card out. It's going to be great. Real quick, I want to thank my sponsors, my brand new sponsors I just got recently. 8th Degree Black MMA Clothing. They do a really, really good clothing line. Make sure you check out their website. I'm going to put all the links to the sponsors over here as well, and they're also on my channel. You can also see their logos at the end of this video. Also, Revolt apparel, very, very good apparel as well. They've got interesting clothing, very, very good clothing. It's very, very cool. Check them out as well. And then also MMA City, MMA Urban Wear. They've got really, really cool t-shirts. Check them out as well. And they also have a blog, which they do a lot of MMA blogging, so make sure you check them out as well. So I want to thank my sponsors. I want to thank you guys for hooking me up with t-shirts as well. Those are going to be coming in the mail. But on that note, you guys have a great day.